She's life itself, see? I've got hold of her hand, and I'm not going to let it go. She's a Skylark.
You're a cuckoo.
Maybe, but I got a lot of sparrows crazy about me.
Say, maybe you'll give me an idea. She hasn't taken her clothes yet. I think I'll go home and wait until Lydia shows up and tell her I've quit my job.
Why, you wouldn't lie to the lady, would you? I wouldn't try that if I were you, pal.
All's fair in love and war, chum.
Theodore, I want you to tell Mr. Kenyon that I...
Why don't you tell him yourself?
Tony, Theodore said you weren't expected home. I didn't want to see you again.
Well, I had to come home. I guess it's too late now, but I quit my job this morning.
You quit your job? Even Abercrombie soap?
Yep. Now I'm scared.
Tony, look at me. Well, tell me all about it.
Well, there's not much to tell. I knew if I loved you, I had to do it. It took a lot of nerve, too, but I busted right into the boss's office. The president of Red Cap Cigarettes was there in conference, so I told him off first.
How?
I said, no wonder Red Cap Cigarettes won the Reader's Digest taste test. They taste like the Reader's Digest. He got pretty sore.
I should think he would.
Then I said to the boss, now see here, Baldy.
Baldy? Oh, Tony, I wish I could have seen his face.
You should have seen his head.
Oh, darling, at last we're free. That's all that was wrong between us. Oh, it's wonderful to know that you don't have to go to the office in the morning.
Well, that is, I do have to go in the morning. You see, although I quit, it'll take me a couple of weeks to get things straightened around.
Oh, I understand. Well, you just can't leave Baldy flat.
Answer that, will you, dear? I'll be back in a minute.
Yes, Tony. Oh, hello, Mrs. Valentine.
How do you do, Mrs. Kenyon?
Is there anything I can do for you?
Plenty. I want to talk to you about Jim Blake. When you telephoned me, I was polite. I decided to wait until Jim Blake returned to our house and hear what he had to say. Well, Jim didn't return, and you know it, and you know why.
Mrs. Valentine, I'm trying to be as nice as I can to you, but I'm wondering how long I'll be able to hold out.
I don't think you realize who you're talking to.
Sure, I know who I'm talking to. Myrtle Valentine, Miss Horsemeat Products of 1943. Now get out of here.
Not until I'm ready. I give the orders, and unless you remember your place, I'll see that your husband's fired this afternoon. What's so funny?
Oh, for your information, Tony quit the advertising agency today. Now get out of here before our Great Dane takes a bite out of you and gets his Valentine dog food direct. Tony, guess who's at the door?
Who?
Myrtle Valentine. And Tony, I've wonderful news for you.
Yeah, what is it?
You don't have to wait 2 weeks or even 1 day. You're fired. Isn't that wonderful?
What? Give me that again, slowly.
Well, she played right into our hands. I said exactly the right things to get you fired as of today. Now you're really and truly free. Oh, Tony, how does it make your heart feel?
I'll let you know as soon as it comes up out of my boots. Maybe she's come back. Maybe we can fix it up.
Fix what up?
I mean, maybe we can get her to fire me as of yesterday. I'll open the door.
Hello, chums.
Why, Jim Blake. Oh, Jim, I wish you'd been here a moment ago.
Why?
Because with Myrtle Valentine's angelic help, I just got Tony fired as of today.
Fired? Now, wait a minute.
Shut up, chum. What are you doing here anyway?
Why, pal, I came out to see my client, Mrs. Kenyon.
Well, I'm not a client any longer, Jim. Now that Tony has quit his job, there's no need for a divorce.
That remains to be seen. So you quit, huh, chum?
Yeah, pal.
That's your story. Something is very unkosher in the state of Denmark.
What do you mean by that?
What's your boss's telephone number?
Why do you want that, Jim?
I just want to call his boss, find out whether he actually quit his job or not. I don't think he did. Well, what's the number?
It's Longacre 59970.
Shall I call him, chum, or will you save me the nickel?
No, you don't have to call him. You were lying to me, Tony.
Yep.
You hadn't quit your job.
Nope.
Everything you said was a lie.
No. When I said I loved you, I meant it.
Are you sure?
You shut up.
Okay, chum.
Tony, you didn't do anything except lie.
All right, I lied.
Thank you, Jim, for getting here when you did.
Oh, that's just the usual Blake service. It comes with every divorce. No extra fee. But, after the divorce, maybe I can give you a little more unusual service.
After the divorce, I'll probably want it.
After Lydia got her divorce in Reno, she returned to New York and Jim Blake. And she and Jim were rapidly becoming a columnist's item when Tony returned from a sojourn in South America. The night Tony ship-docked, Lydia and Jim were winding up a gay evening of dining and dancing. As the scene opens, they are just returning to Lydia's apartment.
Here's my apartment. Good night, Jim.
Oh, you've done better than that.
Have I? Is that better? Oh, it couldn't have been that good. Good night, Jim.
Don't you think I ought to step in and turn on the lights?
No, thank you. I can find the light switch very easily by that gleam in your eye. Good night, Jim.
Good night, Lydia.
You're kind of late, Lydia.
Tony, get out of here.
No, wait a minute. I just got in from South America. Do you call this the good neighbor policy?
If you don't leave immediately, I'll call the desk.
Lydia, this divorce hasn't meant a thing. I still love you the same as I always did.
I'm sorry, Tony.
You were so right about me. I was whirling around in a vacuum. It's called competition.
Are you trying to tell me that you've changed?
No, I've reverted to type. The type you seem to like so much. Have you noticed my fangs? Last night I even caught myself howling at the moon.
Well, I'm no Little Red Riding Hood.
Jim Blake wouldn't believe that.
Jim says that as my ex-husband, you should change your views of the situation.
I have, and the new situation is very interesting. Our positions are reversed, and Jim Blake is now in a defensive role that Tony Kenyon formerly occupied.
And so you're trying to be offensive. Well, you're doing very well.
Of course. You see, under the circumstances, I'm now Jim Blake. You know, you were a sucker not to take any alimony, Lydia.
I only wanted my independence.
Independence? Nobody's independent. No matter where you sit, there's somebody sitting one step higher. There's always a mezzanine.
I can see you've changed a lot.
Well, anyway, I want you to take this. It's the deed to our summer place on our island.
Oh, no,
I don't want it. Do what you want with it. Give it away, sell it, do anything you want with it that the FHA will let you. It was always more yours than mine anyway.
Yes, it was.
Lydia, let's go up there. Now.
Are you trying to make me unhappy, Tony?
If I were sure you meant that, I'd go away. But I still love you, and I can't imagine anything without you. And you can't without me.
Tony, I look at you and I see someone I used to know a long time ago.
Is that so? No effect whatever?
None whatever.
All the little things we had, the little half-dreams, the pieces of the future we saw together, etc.
I've forgotten them. Even the etc.
I envy you. But have you forgotten this? No effect whatever, huh?
Well, it's just a habit. It's an involuntary reflex. It proves that I'm normal.
And that's the way I like 'em, normal.
No, Tony.
You mustn't forget, Lydia. It takes two to make a divorce, just as it does anything else. Good night.
Tony, Jim, why do the two of you have to follow me every place I go?
Because I love you.
But can't you leave me alone?
No, I can't, Lydia.
Who do you boys think you are, the Andrews sisters? I came up here to the island to get away from the both of you, so that I could think things out calmly, sanely.
Lydia, what's there to think about? You know I'm the only man for you. I'll do anything for you. I'll even marry you.
I tried that, chum. It doesn't stick. At least it won't now that I'm around.
Oh, I don't know what to do.